Hey. Welcome to New Entry Wrestling Podcast. I am your host, IAN, and a freak show is what I can be. And if you're feeling so high in joy, give me a holla. And if you haven't already, hit that follow button on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel for wrestling reviews, predictions, and fantasy booking. We're diving deep into the thriller action from the 2025 WWE Royal Rumble event, where we saw some jaw-dropping moments and surprising victories, including Jey Uso's incredible win in the men's Rumble and Charlotte Flair proving once again why she is one of the greatest in the women's division. But that's not all. We're also bringing you a quick recap of TNA Wrestling Genesis 2025, where the action was fast and furious, and we got all the details you need on what went down in the world of TNA Total Nonstop Action. So sit back, relax, and let's get into all the action from two of the biggest wrestling events of the year. Let's go. Yay! So, what did I think of the overall Royal Rumble event? How did it compare to my expectations? I rated the show 7 out of 10. Watching it at home, it was a solid show. But if I were there live, I'd probably lean more towards an 8 out of 10. The atmosphere always makes a big difference in person. And this one just didn't quite hit as hard as I hoped. I'm going to be real with you all for a second. As much as I love the Royal Rumble every year, this one felt like a little lacked of that special magic that we all look forward to. That feeling when you're waiting for that huge holy S moment, and I didn't really get that here. It kind of felt a bit disappointing, but hey, that's just how it goes sometimes in wrestling. Some shows just hit harder than others. To be fair, I did go to the SmackDown show before the Royal Rumble, and that show was pretty fire. Now, maybe I don't know how it was on television, but there live, I had a great time. But hey, that's just my opinion. How about you guys? How did you feel about the show overall? Was it a hit or was it a miss for you? Drop me a comment or hit me up on social media, and I want to hear your thoughts. Now, let's dive into the Royal Rumble match themselves. Did the Rumble live up to my expectations this year? No. Here's all right. Well, let me go into detail. So, the Women's Royal Rumble, I had a gut feeling that Charlotte Flair might take it. I was really rooting for Nia Jax. I really thought Nia Jax was gonna win, but Charlotte was like kind of like everybody. Charlotte was everybody, like we could all agree Charlotte is like 99%, right? So basically that's what happened. So we were all right. And honestly, I was happy with that outcome. But what really stood out for me was Alexa Bliss return. When she came out, I went up absolutely crazy. And Trish Stratus, an amazing moment. She's the original diva for a reason, right? And honestly, watching Alexa Bliss come back was a little emotional for me. I ain't gonna lie. RIP to Bray Wyatt. It's crazy how invested I become in her character over the years. She just had like this whole up and down with the company, and she's always pro. Let's put it that way. She's always pro. Whatever WWE says, hey, you're down to do this, she's always, yeah, I'm down. Rather if it's in the main event picture or in the mid card, kicking off a show, hosting a show, having her own talk show, she is always pro and she always delivers. You know, even being a manager for, I forgot what that team was back in NXT, you know. She was, and people forget about that. She was a valet for a team with Buddy Murphy and Blake, I believe. I forgot what the team was, or even if they had a team, but I believe they were their longest NXT champions, tag team champions, if I'm not mistaken. I don't know if they still hold the record for that. So, but yeah, I'm happy that Alexa Bliss is back, and I love the whole crazy, you know, I forgot what was that, Harley, is it Harley Quinn gimmick? Yeah, the whole crazy, the Fiend, the Wyatt Six. I hope she's a part of that because it'd be great to see Alexa Bliss and Nikki Cross teaming up once again, and then go against Liv Morgan and Raquel. Ooh, that's gonna be great. That's gonna be fire. So, but yeah, happy that Charlotte Flair got the win. Yeah, so what about you? Did you expect Charlotte to win, or were you rooting for someone else? How about the surprise returns? Let me know who made the biggest impact for you. Now, as for the men's Royal Rumble, well, I think it could have been better. I knew John Cena was going to show up, but I still couldn't help but have a feeling like Jey Uso winning didn't fully make sense. He just lost a world title shot and now he's winning the Rumble. It felt like the booking could have been stronger here, but Cena, man, I think they missed a golden opportunity for him to tie Stone Cold's record for 3 wins. You know, I could have. I just don't understand why he couldn't win. He didn't have to win at WrestleMania as much. That would have been awesome. Winning for him to win his 17-time world championship, whether it's a WWE or World Heavyweight. Honestly, at this point, I want him to see. I want him to be 18 because I want him to win the WWE championship and the World Heavyweight champion. You know what I mean? Like that title. I mean, the World Heavyweight title needs John Cena's name attached to it. So, but yeah, like they could have at least gave him that win where, oh, he tied with Steve Austin. Now you got Steve Austin, Stone Cold Steve Austin, and now you got John Cena for time for the most Royal Rumble wins. Um, yeah, but I mean, they're still giving him the credit of being the third runner up, which I mean, I guess I don't know, still an accomplish, you know. But hey, shout out to Pentagon for being the Iron Man. 42 minutes. I forgot how many seconds. And then Raquel was an hour and 7 minutes, breaking Bailey's record by 4 minutes, I believe. So shout out to Raquel Perez and Pentagon for being the Iron Man woman for the Royal Rumble match. So yeah, man, still a little bummed out, you know. Like I gotta admit, like I'm a huge John Cena fan. So I'm a little bummed out that he didn't win. And I mean, like, imagine just Cena time with Stone Cold record at Royal Rumble. Like that would have been a perfect moment for his legacy. And I feel like WWE just kind of dropped the ball on, you know. But I get it. I get it. Jey is on his own journey, and I respect that. Just a little bit of a missed opportunity for me personally. You know what I mean? Now, who were you guys rooting for in the men's Royal Rumble? Was it Cena for the win, or did you even see Jey as, you know, as the person of winning? You know, to be honest, I didn't thought Jey was gonna be. Jey was never in my pick. First of all, just again because of the match that he had with Gunther back at Saturday Night Main Event, which was, I believe, the day of this episode drop. It's probably been like 2 weeks or 3 weeks now. So, but it was only 2 weeks from Saturday's Royal Rumble. So you know what I mean? That's my issue. If it was like a month ago, sure, that would have been great. But no, that's my issue. He just had the opportunity at the World Heavyweight title, and now he wins the Royal Rumble, and then we're gonna get a rematch at WrestleMania, which is crazy, you know. But as long as it mains event WrestleMania night one, then cool. You know, that's all I gotta say. All right, moving on. Now let's move on and talk about Cody Rhodes versus Kevin Owens for the WWE Undisputed Universal Champion ladder match. So this match stood out the most for me, to be honest. You know, Cody Rhodes versus Kevin Owens. This match was intense. It started off slow, but once they hit the middle, it was like that's when they went crazy. That's when they went hard. That's when it was like, all right, let's pick up the pace now. But it was more honestly, it was more about spots. I appreciate the whole they try to go through the crowd, blah blah blah. I kind of expected a little bit more of a fight, to be honest. But it seemed like the fight only lasted like about 2 or 3 minutes, and then they started doing the whole ladder spots, where it's just like, felt like it was too early for that. So, but anyways, that fisherman plex off like was it even on top of the ladder or was it on the ropes? I don't really remember. But anyways, like they both landed on the ladder, and that was just like that had me gasping for air too. I know they both were gasping for air. I was gasping for air. That hurt me as well. Man, and that finish, Cody Rhodes hitting and what's it called? Alabama Slam. Shot, a tribute to Bob Holly, aka Hardcore Holly. So that match was a solid 8 out of 10 for me. Oh, I didn't even do the review for the women's. I gotta give it honestly probably an 8 out of 10. And the men's I gotta give men's I gotta give men's a 9.5 out of 10, to be honest. So and the tag team match. The tag team match had a lot of potential, but it didn't quite reach match of the year, like that match of the year level for me. The Street Profits causing the Machine Guns was a letdown, and it wasn't a bad match by any means, but it just didn't live up to my expectations. You know, I feel like that first fall with the whole like they thought they like the tagging, that was a great spot. Like they thought uh I think it was Alex Shelley thought that Gargano didn't knew about the tag spot, got hit with a knee by Tomasa, and he covered him. That was a nice, like that would have been, I'm glad that that spot happened, but that would have been a great finish. And I was just like, damn, why wasn't that a finish? Motor City Machine Guns get the second fall with the skull and bones. I'm thinking, okay, the Motor City Machine Guns are probably gonna get the win. And then here comes the Straight Profits. Angelo hits, I forgot who. I think it was Saban with a crutches, and yeah, and then DOI got the win, which clearly it's gonna lead into a triple threat match, and then probably by WrestleMania it's gonna be a fatal four way with Pretty Deadly on it, and I believe that's where Pretty Deadly are gonna win the tag team titles for the first time. I believe I don't even know if they won them in NXT. So, but yeah, the Motor City Machine Guns versus DOI was a disappointing match in my book. Uh, but what about you guys? Did you think the tag team match was a letdown too, or did you enjoy it? Or were you expecting more from this one? Let me know your thoughts. And what were the biggest surprise of the night in the Rumble? So now for me, obviously, like I mentioned earlier, Alexa Bliss and Trish Stratus was huge. Was huge. Was huge. But I can't forget about Jordan Grace making a surprise appearance. Actually, it's not even a surprise because she's officially signed with WWE last year's Royal Rumble 2024. She made her debut, shocking surprise entry, representing TNA Wrestling as the TNA Knockouts Women's Champion after she defeated Trinity, aka Naomi, who is the WWE Women's Tag Team Champion currently, after defeating her at a TNA Hard to Kill pay-per-view, which I went to, Las Vegas, by the way. Woo! That was an overnight trip too. Yeah, I ain't doing that again. And I ended up doing that for Indiana for SmackDown. That's crazy. I never thought I would do that for a television show. But anyways, what was I saying? Yeah, so now she's officially signed with WWE, most likely NXT, which is perfect, great. I would not mind seeing her on SmackDown. But I feel like give her that give her that NXT run first, so that way she can win the NXT Women's Championship and then go up to the main roster. And also, I also want to say that last year I had an award show and I said, hey, we're doing I forgot what was the category. I think I called it Embrace for Impact, basically somebody to look forward in the future. And I predicted Jordan freaking Grace, and look at her now. Look at her now. I called it. I called it. That's crazy. That's crazy. I don't know who I'm going to predict for this year's award show. Probably Josh Alexander, Joe Hendry. Joe Hendry's probably the obvious choice at this point, so I can't really predict them. So I don't know, man, but that's pretty crazy. So shout out to Jordan, Grace, and congrats. Sucks for Impact though. Sucks for Impact. But anyways, yeah, Jordan Grace definitely made an impact. No pun intended. And of course, the other thing I gotta talk about, it's not really a surprise entrance. It was more of a surprise moment. CM Punk eliminating both Roman Reigns and Seth freaking Rollins. I couldn't believe it. But then, Logan Paul had to ruin it. He had to ruin the fun by eliminating Punk, man. Of all people, But I won't lie. I was a little bummed out, because the reason why I was bummed out that Logan Paul eliminated Punk, because I really thought he was gonna win. That was like, damn. I was like, that's crazy. Can you imagine if that was the Royal Rumble? The Royal Rumble. Can you imagine? That was the Royal Rumble. Can you imagine if that happened in Chicago? Woo! Damn. Imagine if that happened at the Royal Rumble. That's crazy, bro. But anyways, Punk returned as well. So it felt like special to me to like see him in that ring. And I really thought, because Indiana is not too far from Chicago, and I felt like this is gonna be the closest thing to Chicago for you, Punk. And I really thought Punk was gonna win, man. But it didn't. So I was a little stunned that it happened. But it's pro wrestling. And that's what makes it so unpredictable. And I get why they did it, but it was definitely a feeling. I was like definitely feeling some type of way about it. You know what I mean? I was like, damn, I don't really care about Logan Paul. I don't understand why people are so hype about him. But like, hey, you know what? Whatever. The only thing I have a problem, and I said it before, is I wish they could just separate the characters. Like Logan Paul, he wants to be in the WWE. That's cool. I just don't like that he brings the whole podcast, the prime, everything. Like he's trying to be the Randy Savage. The difference between Randy Savage and Logan Paul is Randy Savage started off as a wrestler and then he became doing all this sponsor stuff. Like he worked for the grind. Logan Paul did social media. I know him from Vine, and I don't know what he did after that, but next thing you know, he's famous again. So for him to do that and then to come to wrestling and be like, all right, guys, I'm on the top spot because I'm famous. That's what I don't like. If he showed up and did the work, yes, my name is what got me here. Cool, but I'm going to train as well. I'm going to be grinding. I'm going to be doing house shows, television. I'm going to start from the bottom and work my way to the top. You had The Rock do it. You had Charlotte Flair do it. You had Cody Rhodes do it. Why can't Logan Paul do it? You know what I mean? That's the part that I don't understand. But hey, it is what it is. That's all I gotta say about Logan Paul. So, even though I've been like, yeah, whatever. So, but what about you guys? What were your biggest surprise? It didn't have to be surprise entry, just a surprise moment that, got you off guard. So let me know. So now, what does this mean for WrestleMania? Who do you think will challenge for the title? Jey Uso already announced he's challenging Gunther again, but part of me would love to see him face Cody Rhodes instead. That will make a fresh mashup. But if Jey does face Gunther, I ain't gonna be mad. But just hear me out. Sami Zayn, I didn't mention it earlier. Sami Zayn showed up for Kevin Owens during his ladder match. He didn't interfere. He was just there to support both of them, but he favored Kevin Owens a little bit more. So, and now if you put Jey and Uso in the mix, you got something crazy. And then that's how you could probably get Cody Rhodes to do the whole full turn of heel. He said it before, he'll never turn heel. I believe he'll never turn heel in AEW. But in WWE, I feel that's when that's gonna happen. And the best person who could probably do that, obviously, besides John Cena and maybe CM Punk, Kevin Owens is getting there. I feel, well, also Roman Reigns, because if we cheer for Roman Reigns and boo Cody, I feel like that's a possibility. Maybe not, but I feel like Jey and Sammy, they're the probably two that can actually have Cody Rhodes turn fully heel, So let's hope that happens. Now, for Charlotte, I'm kind of leaning towards another Rhea Ripley match. It's going to be a trinity if it does happen. The first one, WrestleMania, 36? Yeah, 36, 2020, during the pandemic's era. Charlotte won the Royal Rumble. She challenged Rhea Ripley, NXT Women's Champion. Charlotte Flair won. WrestleMania 39, my favorite match ever. Still to this day, Rhea Ripley won the Royal Rumble, challenged Charlotte Flair for the SmackDown Women's Championship. So, and Rhea Ripley won that one. So there is a possibility we may get a trinity. And who's going to win that one? That one's going to be a crazy one. Now, but Tiffany Strachan, I can't even say her last name. Tiffy time. Now, that would be a cool pick as well. Charlotte Flair versus Tiffany. But I would not mind seeing Tiffany versus Trish Stratus, though. Either way, I'm excited for what's coming. But what I'm really excited about Mania this year is seeing how everything comes together. WrestleMania is more than just a show. It does take time and months to build up a good story, and sometimes that stories don't really deliver. So that's why it has to be magic. That's why I like the whole Royal Rumble, because the Royal Rumble is a place. This is where it starts. The Royal Rumble match is where you see possibility dream matches. Thinking damn, I never really thought that match was possible. Kind of like Drew and Damian Priest. Damian Priest eliminated Drew McIntyre. And everybody thinking damn, we thought we were going to have a little build-up with Drew McIntyre and Roman Reigns. But people forgetting that who did Damian Priest cash in on last year for him to win the World Heavyweight Champion? Drew McIntyre. I'm yo, I totally forgot about that. That could be a possibility at WrestleMania. Drew versus Damian Priest. Yes, Drew is on Raw, but he could get drafted to SmackDown any moment. Or maybe they could do a whole brand battle of the brands, SmackDown versus Raw. It could be Damian representing SmackDown, Drew representing Raw. That's a cool matchup as well. I would rather see that. I also want to see Drew McIntyre face Roman Reigns. And I do want to add one more thing because I totally forgot. Finn Balor. Finn Balor, damn it, bro. Whose idea was it for you to change your theme song, man? I mean, I feel like maybe it's going to take me time to get used to it, but Man, that was a little disappointing. I'm gonna be honest with you, you know. But anyways, who do you guys would like to see Jey Uso face? Do you agree that he should face Gunther and possibly finish his story? You know, again, I would rather have him face Cody Rhodes, but I'm not mad at what happens. Now, here's the other question I got. Who were the MVPs of the night? And that's pretty tough. But I'm giving the MVP to the surprise entrance, Alexa Bliss, Trish Stratus, and Jordan Grace, obviously. And CM Punk really like stole the show for me. Like just his return for the Royal Rumble just was like electric, you know. He was like the closest thing to The Rock. Same with John Cena, you know. Also, like here's the thing: people want to say probably are disagreeing with me and maybe not saying how come you're not going to give it to Penta. Well, technically, I did mention Penta was in the Rumble for 42 minutes, but technically he got eliminated within the first 30 seconds, you know, but we all want to avoid, like, we're all going to ignore that. So that's why I'm not going to say Penta. And plus, I don't really remember much. You know, I could also say Jacob Fatu, you know, another great moment. Or I could get, you know what? MVP goes out to Braun Breaker for that, for spearing, what's his name? Speed? Yeah, I'll give Braun Breaker the MVP, you know? Who was the MVP in your opinion of the night? For who was your MVP of the night, you know, in your opinion? Was it a surprise entrance or someone who really stood out for you, you know? So that was like a handful of people, you know. By the way, I'm being told that it's Roxanne Perez, not Raquel. So my bad on that part. Roxanne Perez is the one who became the longest the Iron Woman. Yeah, right. The Iron Woman. So 1 hour and 7 minutes. It's Roxanne. Apparently I said Raquel earlier, so my bad. And also I said Pentagon, not Penta. So it's all right. You guys know who I knew, you know. If you know what I meant. But overall, I'll say this, that the Royal Rumble was a solid show. But it didn't blow me away. There were some great moments, but it left me wanting more in certain areas. The road to WrestleMania is just getting started, though I'm pumped for what's coming next. I know some of us may feel like WWE is missing some of that magic lately, but in the end of the day, we're still fans, no matter what. Or maybe we're just getting older. I always have a seat at the table for this wild ride that we called wrestling. All right, this part of the episode, I am going to be talking about TNA Genesis 2025 Dallas. Was it in Dallas? I have no idea if it was in Dallas. So, anyways, this is just gonna be a star rate show. So, all right, let's go ahead with Moose versus Ace Austin for the TNA X Division champion. The TNA X Division champion. I gotta say, I don't know why Moose changed the strap of the belt. It's more like an orange strap color. I don't know why he changed it. He should have just kept it alone. I thought he was gonna change the whole design, but no. He could at least came up with a custom belt. I don't know why he had to change the strap. So that's what she said. Hey yo. But anyways, I gotta give it a 8 out of 10. The ending was great. Moose hits a spear on Ace Austin's back, following with another spear for the win. I give this match an 8 out of 10. Now up next, the System, Eddie Edwards and Brian Myers versus Eric Young and Steve Macklin. I got to give it a 7 out of 10. Up next, Spitfire versus Ash by Elegance. Spitfire are the TNA Knockouts World Tag Team Champions. Spitfire is the team of Jody Threat and Danny Luna. which I love. Danny Luna, hey, embrace for impact for her. Defeated Ash by elegance, and Heather. So Heather by elegance. Yeah, so they retained their Spitfire retained their tag team titles. I give it a 6 out of 10. There was a damn moment that I wrote down on my notes, and that was a German suplex from Luna that she gave to Ash. It was like a nasty, like springboard German suplex off the ropes kind of thing. Up next was it's a crazy one. Tesla Blanchard versus Jordan Grace, the woman who just signed with WWE and made her return to the Royal Rumble, I guess. Um the fans were chanting some, you know, they were chanting some stuff to Tesla on her way to the ring. So some stuff I ain't gonna mention on the show, but if you go back and check out her video of her entrance, you could hear it. So Tesla Blanchard, and she has a pretty cool theme song. I actually like it. I work out to it. So I forgot the name of that song, the artist at least. But anyways, yeah, she's a cool artist. She's pretty dope. I ain't gonna lie. So, but the damn moment was a fallaway slam off the top rope, and also a double underhook destroyer from Tesla that she gave to Jordan Grace, which is something I haven't seen in a long time. The last time I seen it was, I think it was Teddy Hart. I believe he's the one who used to do that move back in AAA down in Mexico. So, um, let's see, the great ending turnbuckle spot. Oh, sorry. The great end. It was a great ending. It was just that turnbuckle spot that kind of ruined it. She was trying to expose the turnbuckle. Was very unnecessary. Very unnecessary. When she hit Jordan Grace with the arm lock, the triangle lock DDT. I don't know what you call it. Everybody says a different way. The hammerlock DDT onto the turnbuckle or the corner of the ring. That was a nice spot. That was a nice spot. And then she could have gone to the top rope, hit her finish, which was the double code breaker. She calls Magnum or something like that. Basically, it's a code breaker, knees off the top rope, knees to the chest, boom, right? But she kept trying to expose the turnbuckle, slams Jordan Grace's face onto it, which technically is a DQ, but whatever. I guess that's what I'm saying. Like, I don't know why. That kind of took away from it, but it didn't like ruin the match. It just kind of ended the expense. It was just like it wasn't needed for it. I don't know why you try to still expose the turnbuckle. So, and also she did a bulldog. You know what I mean? Like it was just like what you did a bulldog, a running bulldog to the turnbuckle. Basically Jordan's head to the turnbuckle, but it was exposed. It's like that spot alone would have been, that was still a cool spot. You didn't have to expose the turnbuckle. So you did two cool corner spots that made up to expose that turnbuckle, but you still try to expose the turnbuckle. So I don't know, but whatever. So yeah, like I said, that should have been DQ, but whatever. Tesla gets the win with the double code breaker or the mega code breaker. I don't know. 8 out of 10, to be honest. I'm gonna be honest. It was a good match, and I do respect both ladies for keeping it pro. I'm pretty sure there was some heated between them, but in the end of the day, they kept it pro. And it was still a great match. It's still gonna be a contender for match of the year in my book. Um, Up next, we got Mike Santana versus Josh Alexander in a I Quit match. Bro, this match was crazy. This match was fire. You know, the ending was fantastic. A lot of back and forth, Mike Santana holding it down. Josh Alexander delivered, obviously. So this is what I wrote down in my books. Bear with me. Oh yeah, and then Mike Santana had like something similar, like Eddie's logo, the cross and the flames on his pants side. So that was pretty cool. The OMG moment that I wrote down was a curb stomp to the steps by Josh Alexander. to avoid saying the words "I quit." Basically, Mike Santana was holding Josh Alexander's arms in the back of him, and basically he had his foot in the back of his head, and he was gonna slam him down to the steel steps unless he says the words "I quit." And Josh Alexander said the words "I quit." Mike Santana is the new face, or not the face, but he's the guy that you basically like you have to embrace for Impact. Basically, maybe that's who's the guy. Maybe Mike Santana is the guy to to look out forward in the near future. Not only did Josh Alexander quit this match and lost, he also says that he quits TNA, and it's true. Eventually, he's going to be right. I'm pretty sure at this point he's written off. He's not. His contract is coming up. It ends in February. So obviously, at this point, he's either done with the company because Eric Young turned healed and turned on Josh Alexander. So unless they're trying to build up a match at No Surrender, I believe is the next event, or Sacrifice. I'm not quite sure. Or it could just be a taping show to write him off and finish and just send him home and finish his contract up. So, but I really hope they really build this up into something. So that's something to look forward. Sucks that Josh Alexander is leaving. I really hope he goes to NXT or WWE because he's a fantastic worker. He's somebody where I'm like, bro, embrace for Impact as well. Josh Alexander. He's like he's the Canadian version of Kurt Angle. He could be the next Bret Hart, the next Owen Hart. He wrestles fantastic, and I got to see him wrestle live twice, but I got to see him wrestle against Alex Shelley at TNA Bound for Glory back in Cicero, which was great. Also, I have to mention the first time I got to see Alex Shelley wrestle was against Jay White at TNA's Impact Hard to Kill in Louisville, Kentucky, and I got to see him wrestle again against Josh Alexander defending the Impact World Heavyweight Champion. And then years later, this recently, the SmackDown before the Royal Rumble 2025, I got to see him team up with Chris Sabin, the Motor City Machine Guns, on SmackDown, which is crazy to say. Also saw Chelsea Green wrestle for the first time at Kentucky at the TNA Sacrifice. And now at that SmackDown, I got to see her defend the United States Women's Championship, like against a former TNA Minchin. Like that's crazy for me. That's pretty mind blown to see where these people started and where they're at now. Sometimes where they're at their highest, you feel like you're seeing them at their lowest, but sometimes the lowest could be your happiest point. Depends on you view it. So, but yeah, that's still a crazy moment. My rating for Mike Santana and Josh Alexander, I believe, is the highest rating, 9 out of 10. Now for the Hardys versus the Rascals, I gave it a 7 out of 10. It was pretty cool that the NXT, I don't remember their names, the NXT Tag Team Champions, they made basically crossed the line. They crossed the lines and they had a chance to face the Rascals on a live TNA Impact show, which was never do that again. That was just weird. I mean, it was cool, but it was weird at the same time. Yeah, it was a fun match, to be honest. The Rascal versus the Hardy Boys. It was a fun match. 7 out of 10. Masha Slamovich versus Rosemary. It was a crazy hardcore match. Happy that Janice Abyss's ex-girlfriend made her return, which is basically a 2x4 with a lot of nails on it. Cora Jey is another NXT who crossed the line to challenge Masha Slamovich, possibly for the TNA Knockouts Women's Championship. That's something to look forward, man. That's going to be crazy. Another crazy moment is the guy that we all believed in. Joe Henry defeated Nick Mimis for the TNA World Heavyweight Champion. And he made his debut with the TNA World Heavyweight Champion in the Royal Rumble, which was historic. And then what's even crazier, he entered in number 15. After that, you know who was number 16? The tribal one. The tribal one. Yeah, right. Is he? Yeah, the tribal one. It's been a while. The tribal one. The OG. No, not the tribal one. The tribal chief, right? I forgot what was his OG. What was his gimmick name? I forgot what it was. But anyways, Roman Reigns was number 16. That was crazy. And the fact that he got speared by Roman Reigns and got eliminated by Roman Reigns, damn. The only thing that was missing was AJ Styles. He did make his return and he brought back his old theme song. Yes. But, you know, I wish there was a moment like that. That's all we needed was AJ Styles and Joe Henry to have that moment. Like, damn, this is a possibility, but we didn't get it. Clearly, AJ Styles does not want to come back to TNA wrestling. So, but anyways, Masha Slamovich and Rosemary, the women's match, I gave it a 8.5 out of 10. So I believe that's the second highest ranked on the show. And then Joe Henry versus Nick Mammoth for the TNA World Heavyweight Champion. I gave it a 7.5. Overall show, overall pay-per-view, I got to give it a 8 out of 10. You know, the TNA Impact Live show was pretty decent. It was pretty cool. Joe Henry defended his TNA World Heavyweight Champion. Joe Henry defended and defeated Matt Cardona. And also Mustafa Ali made his return and also stated that he signed with TNA Wrestling, which is I don't know why him, but whatever. Good for him, I guess. I don't know. It's good for him. That's all I gotta say. So, but yeah, overall show 8 out of 10. TNA doing great things. It just sucks. A lot of people are leaving, like Josh Alexander. Jordan Grace officially left the company, and there's still some people who haven't signed, probably won't sign. There's some backstage workers, announcers that are leaving as well. So it sucks, you know. Josh Alexander has been like the face. He's been our Kurt Angle for like the past 3 or 4 years now. And the fact that he's leaving, it kind of sucks, you know. Really hope he doesn't go to AEW, but I'm pretty sure that's not going to be the case for him. So, yeah. What you guys think about TNA Genesis? Again, that was just a quick recap, a quick rank the show, star, whatever. I have no idea what to call this moment. Because not a lot of people watch TNA that comes on the show ever has his moments, but none of my guests. So I figured, like, let me just give you a whole recap of what just went down, because I did give you my predictions a few episodes ago. So it's only fair that I have, give you a little recap of what just happened as well. And yeah, overall, both shows were pretty fantastic. I ain't gotta lie, So yeah. Oh, before I forget, almost forgot, it's time for this or that. I'm going to give you some dream matches or what could have been moments, and you get to pick which one you'll love to see. Let's jump in. Now, here's the first one. So imagine this: the Usos are defending the WWE Tag Team Championship against the New Day in a crazy ladder match at WrestleMania 38. Both teams are going all out to grab the titles, but who wins this? The Usos keeps the title, showing that they're still the best tag team with a huge win. And also, let's not forget Roman Reigns. He's in the main event going against Brock Lesnar. I would have booked them against Big E, but for the WWE Championship, or all winner takes all. Or that the New Day wins the title, shocking everyone and adding another big moment to their legacy. And to be honest, the New Day and the Usos, they should have gotten their WrestleMania match back at WrestleMania 34. Turned out to be a three-way. They had another opportunity at WrestleMania 35, again at 36. I don't believe WrestleMania 37. Um, and then again at WrestleMania 38. So, but yeah, I personally would go with. Ooh, this is a tough one, but I would go with the Usos retaining their tag team titles since Roman Reigns wins as well. Um, so yeah, I would go with that one. It would have been so much better if they would have head towards this direction, and instead of having Shinsuke Nakamura and Rick Boots versus the Usos. That didn't turn out as well. So yeah, which team do you think will walk away if this match actually took place? I'm not saying it would have been a ladder match, but I would have booked it to be a ladder match, to be honest. I feel like that would have made it so much better. I feel like if they would have made a ladder match, it probably would have happened. It kind of did, but again, it was a three-way. It was one of the Usos, John Morrison, and Kofi Kingston. So that was during the pandemic era. Now let's talk about Jey Uso. He gets a huge singles match at WrestleMania. All right, because I'm gonna be honest, I didn't thought he was gonna win the Royal Rumble. But if he didn't, who do you want him to face? This Jey Uso versus John Cena. Jey wants to prove himself against the legendary 16-time champion John Cena, or that Jey Uso versus Jeff Hardy, a high flying, a high risk battle between Jey and the Daredevil Jeff Hardy. Who do you think will win this match? And that's gonna be a tough one. That's gonna definitely gonna be a fan favorite. This match is gonna be something similar to like Jey Uso and John Cena's moment at the Royal Rumble, where I was rooting for Cena and then the other half was rooting for Uso, the generation basically, because a lot of people see Jey Uso as basically it's their Jeff Hardy. So if Jey Uso was able to face Jeff Hardy, bro, that would go crazy. That's the Rock and Hogan of the mid cards. You know what I mean? Like that's just crazy to even think about that. Jeff Hardy versus Jey Uso. Would it be a crazy 5-star match? Possibly not, but we would definitely be into this match though. The spots and everything. And the crowd, the entrance alone, Jeff Hardy's entrance, Jey Uso's entrance, the whole dance, the yeet, bro. I think everybody was just. I don't even think it'll be a match. I think it's just gonna be like one of those, like a rave concert. You know what I mean? It's gonna be a party. As soon as Jeff Hardy's music, everybody gonna be dancing, and then Jey Uso comes out, yee, yee, hands down, everybody, and then we're all gonna forget. Oh yeah, this is a wrestling match. Damn, you know what I mean? Like that's gonna be so beyond crazy with the lights and everything. And you already know there's gonna be some table spots, and the announced spots. Like jumping from the top rope to the announcing table, the Spanish announce table, most likely. Well, actually, I don't even think the announce table is there anymore. Inside joke. But anyways, yeah, that's gonna be crazy. Honestly, I'm gonna pick that one. Jey Uso and Jeff Hardy. Which one would you pick? I feel like most of us will pick that one. But yeah, so that's it for this or that. Let me know which match you would want to see and who you think would win. Hit us up on social media. Tell us your pick. We'll read some of your answers next time. You can also comment down below on YouTube and Spotify. All right, well, this will be it for this episode. I appreciate everyone who tuned in and made it this far on the episode. IAN is who I am. A storyteller is who I'm trying to be. And if you're feeling so high in joy, give me a holla. But since I can't hear you, you can hit a 5-star Frog Splash review. Follow us on Spotify, Apple, and subscribe on YouTube. Share us on social media, New Entry Wrestling Podcast. This is the place to get your wrestling reviews, predictions, and fantasy booking. Catch you next time. Deuces.